Good morning. I pray that all you guys are having a great morning. Thanks so much for connecting with us this morning. Good morning, Drika. And good morning, Axel, also. Hope you guys are having a great morning. Hey, it's G Denise. What's happening, Queen? Just believe it's yours and it'll be. Have faith and you'll see. Keith, what's going on, bro? Good to have you with us this morning. We're going to give a few more people time to log on. We're going to get started. Try not to be too long this morning. So I'm sure some of you got some last minute shopping to do or have already begun to prepare your dinner for this Christmas. Merry Christmas to all of you. Tranja, good morning to you. I pray that all is well with you and your family. Practice and trust, visualize all your desires. Focus on the better days. Be willing to let go and receive. Just breathe. Nothing will hold you down. Just repeat after me. Good morning, Anita. Merry Christmas. So yeah, we're going to give it a couple more minutes and I'm going to get started. I'm not going to be long this morning at all. Gonna get some stuff out of the way. We got an overcast and some showers going on here. All you gotta do is reach inside you. Don't be afraid. You could face anything. Just repeat after me. I am power, I am love, I am light. I am worthy, I am learning, I deserve it. I am faithful, I am able, I am fearless. Oh wow. All right, well you be careful, Chandra, driving in that rain. I am humble, I am grateful, I am purpose. I am passion, I am present, I'm determined. I am strong, I am brave, I am enough. Know that it won't be easy, still I won't give up. Shifting your ways, be confident within yourself. It's Christmas Eve. All the kids are on 10. Be willing to let go and receive. Just breathe.
Okay. So we're going to go ahead and get started.
Just repeat after me.
This morning, like I said, I'm not going to be long this morning. I just really want to encourage you guys for a few minutes, take a few minutes of your time. I know you guys are probably out or have been out this week trying to make Christmas happen for your children and family and people that you love. I don't want you guys to become overwhelmed or pressured by that. Of course, you have an opportunity to, gift the people that you love every day. The emphasis have been placed upon this day as a part of our American culture. Many religions associate this day with the birth date of Jesus Christ, which I'm sure you all know by now. Jesus wasn't born on December 25th. I don't want to ruin it for somebody that really believes that it was Christ's birthday today. But this is the time that we've set aside to celebrate it. And it has always been in the tradition of our country. Pastor Linda Lewis, God bless you. But we are here, and this is an opportunity for us to just connect and make beautiful memories. Some of my greatest memories, as I look back over my life, is during holidays and times like this. Jeremy was happening, and so when I remember now those memories that I made during holidays like this, I don't even remember what my gifts were. I only remember a few gifts that I got for Christmas. We always had Christmas, but I don't remember what the gifts were. And I'm saying that to say that as we continue to get older and wiser, it's the memories that are most impactful on days like this. So I want to encourage those of you who may not be able to financially do what it is you desire to do for your family, your children, your loved ones. Remember, it's the memories that's going to make the biggest difference in everything that you'll experience over the next 36 hours. Yeah, it's the leftover meals, it's the talks around the table, it's the getting too full to sit down right, having a hard time breathing because you ate too much. All that's going to be the fun part. That Uno game after dinner, spades, dominoes, whatever you do, those are the things that you're going to remember. That cousin that stops by the house only a couple times a year, but whenever they come, it's a party. Those are the memories that come out of times like we're in right now, moments like we're approaching as we prepare to celebrate Christmas. But this morning, I want to encourage you also because we're in the final stretch of this year, 2023. 2023, what can I say? It did what it did. It did a lot from January through December. But I want to encourage you guys to, as we close this year, to make sure that you're finishing strong. And as you look back and you reflect over what this year yielded for you, and what it was that you were faced with and experienced in this year, what it is that you were challenged by, and what it is that you were able to overcome, and what you were able to learn from and grow from. I want to encourage you over the next couple of days, look back over your life, pay close attention to these things, because within them, there's an opportunity for growth to make next year an even better year for you, if in fact you have learned from these things. I'm going to read one passage of scripture to you out of Philippians chapter 1, verse number 6. You all know it. It says, being confident of this very thing, that he who hath begun a good work in you will perform it until the day of Christ Jesus. This is an introduction to a much broader statement that he is about to give to the church of Philippi. So, but that introduction is so encouraging and so powerful because in it is everything that we need in order to continue, right? So I think it was Churchill that says, success is not final, neither is failure fatal, right? Success is not final, neither is failure fatal. I think it was William Churchill that said that. And so when you really meditate on what the Apostle Paul is saying, he's saying our confidence could only be placed in the work according to the will of God for your life. Because we've had accomplishments. Some of you guys accomplished things this year, whether great or small. You had some wins, right? This year was not a big L. I mean, I don't care if it was just a good day or a great weekend or whatever. You had some wins. And those wins, they didn't last always, right? And we took some L's, but those L's doesn't last always. But the one consistent thing is that everything that God has set out to do in your life, he's going to continue to perform those things in your life. So, understanding that, I want you to understand that there are more, regardless of what you've experienced in the past. Listen to this. There are more blessings, breakthroughs, understandings, enlightenment, or what have you. There are more in the will of God for you than what you've already experienced. So, as we come to close this year out, I don't want you guys to be so discouraged by what you've experienced prior to now until you're like, oh, yeah, it's another year. You never go into your next time defeated from the last time, because you never know which time is the time that the Lord will just totally blow your mind and just rewrite who you are and what you've experienced in this life as an individual. And we are able to maintain that through the confidence that we have in the fact that everything that God has set out to do is still in motion. It's still active. It's still in play. That the play is not dead. The ball is not dead. It's still in play. We still got time on the clock. And so today, I want you to put yourself in that mind that going into this year, as I close this year, I'm going into a year that there are things for me that God has prepared and has intended towards me and for my life that I am just now getting clearance on. You are now being cleared for the next wave of experiences that God has predestined for you. And so when you go into the new year's, as we close this year out, you go into the new year with that mindset, and you go into it confidently, being confident, being really stable in the way that you're viewing it. Don't tiptoe your way into 2024. I mean, you walk up in there like you belong there, because if the Lord has brought you through this year and have graced you to enter into another year, that means that he has a plan for that year. He has a plan for that year. You say, well, Pastor, I don't know what the plan is. Well, stop being nosy and trust God. That's even the more reason why you should put your faith and trust in God. If you are not aware of what 2024 holds for you, that means that you should be trusting God more than any of us. And now here's what happens, or what's going to happen. You're going to either spend your energy worrying about or wondering about what could happen in the upcoming year, or you can spend that same energy placing your trust and confidence in the one who has already ordered your steps for that. Let me tell you this. Oh my goodness. Let me calm down. You have footprints in places that you have never been or ever seen before in life. You already have footprints there because God has gone before you and he has your footprints in places. You have fingerprints on things that you have not touched yet because God has already ordained them to fall into your hands. Are you listening to me? And so as we move forward, we move forward with this confidence and this faith. I don't know why I just got stirred up so bad, man. But anyway, you move forward with that type of confidence. And you need to remind yourself as you're walking out of 2023 that I have footprints in places that I have not even stepped on yet. I have fingerprints on things that God has already destined to fall into my hands. You understand? You have dreams and visions that are on the mark and getting ready and getting set to go whenever you cross over into this next calendar year. Everything, remember, time itself. Time is a tool that God created to measure predetermined events. Because if not for time, everything would happen all at once, and it would be emotionally and psychologically overwhelming. So time is the tool that God used to measure and disperse what he has for you. And there is never a time in your life, listen to what I'm getting ready to say, there is never a time in your life that you will enter into that God does not have something in mind according to his will to release into your life. God always has something every single time. He has something for you. There is never a time that God doesn't have for you. And you can make that as broad as you like, or you can break it down as small and as detailed as you like. There is never a waking hour that God doesn't have something for you. But what we have to do is we have to begin to seek those things out. Seek him out for those things. You have to be able to become of the mind and say, God, I'm looking for what you have for me this time. I understand the prior times, but I'm not getting stuck on that. I'm not going to get stuck on the former things. I'm going to begin to look forward to the things which are before me. I'm going to prepare and I'm going to seek you out, not to run a rerun of my past. I'm going to seek you out for the world's premieres of what my tomorrow looks like, what my 2024 looks like, what my January 2024 looks like. You understand what I'm saying? This is what we have to do. And we don't get stuck on what didn't happen this year. Remember, failure is not fatal. Most successful people, whenever you hear their story, they're going to tell at one part of that story, they're going to tell you how failure played a part in catapulting them into their success. So failure is not fatal. Sometimes failure is the trampoline that you need to bounce off of. So if you've seen your rock bottom this year, man, you're in the best place because now you can get up off the ground. You got something under your feet. I promise you, free falling is a lot scarier than getting up off the ground, right? So if you've seen your rock bottom this year, go ahead and prepare to stand up and jump again. Prepare to leap again. Prepare to ascend and elevate again, because there are things that God has for the times that are coming in your life that it doesn't matter how much you prayed or how much you fasted prior to this time. There was nothing that God had predestined for 2024 that was going to be released in 2023. I don't care how much you prayed. I don't care how much you cried. I don't care how many days you fasted. It's just because it was destined for a time. Ecclesiastes 3. Remember, To everything, there's a season and a time to every purpose. It's time. It's been time stamped. It's been dated. The appointment had already been scheduled. You couldn't call in and change the appointment and move it earlier. Okay? So now, whenever you're coming into that, when you're coming into those times, you need to understand that you were never going to come into that time before you got here. And don't feel like you're running late and running behind schedule. Just feel like you should take the disposition that I'm in God's waiting room. But I know that because I made it to the waiting room. Now watch this. When you go to the doctor and you enter into that waiting room and you sign in, and once you sign in, once you check in, you sit down, you know right after that time, you're going to see who you came to see. And if you have checked in God's waiting room and you waited all 2023 and possibly 2022 and possibly 2021, if you sat and you've been waiting on God, understand that if you are in the proper position in the waiting room of God, the next person you will see is God. The next thing that you will see is the will of God for your life. My goodness. You're going to see it because God's going to perform it. God's going to release it. God's going to manifest it for you as a result of you being in the position. And again, it doesn't matter what happened prior to the times that you're coming into or the times that you're coming out of. And let me say this to you guys. I want to challenge you to challenge yourself to make sure that when you come out of this year, you come out of this year. Because sometimes we come out of the year, we leave out of the year, but we ain't really left out of the year because you still bitter about some things that happened the prior year, and you still haven't let go some of the things that you've experienced prior. But this time when you come out, shut the door behind you. Shut the door behind you. And I don't care whether you had a great year or a challenging year. If you had a great year, don't get stuck on that greatness because God is greater than what you've seen. There's more that God desires for you than what it is that you've already experienced. You have not seen God's best for your life yet. When we understand that we have not seen God's best for our life yet, we understand that we have reason to continue to look to him and continue to expect him for greater. And you begin to take up on the discipline to go from faith to faith in all of your efforts and all of your energy and your pursuits after the will of God for your life. You only expect it to get better. And as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. And so you become better by the confidence that you have in God's will and desire to make all things better for you. And when we take up on this mentality and this disposition, then and only then are you in the right spirit to receive what the Spirit of God has already destined for your life. My goodness. We have to be of the right mind, of the right heart, of the right spirit. Because whenever God begins to bring us into our next times and the blessings, he's going to always check to make sure that your spirit is right. God's going to always, this is the reason why you have to examine yourself. Make sure that you're good. Make sure that you're intact. Make sure that you're not holding some stuff in some places in your life and in your heart. Make sure you're not holding people hostage. We talked about forgiveness last week. Make sure that you don't have people in a cell or a dungeon in your heart. And you're not letting them off the hook for some stuff that they cannot compensate you for. You understand what I'm saying? And I don't care who has wrongly convicted you, whether they understand it or not. You're about to be exonerated, okay? And usually, if you follow history, those individuals who wrongly convict someone for a crime that they didn't commit or they're not guilty of, those aren't the same people that exonerate them. It's usually somebody totally different. So don't look for people to exonerate you. Let those people go. Let them have it. That's what they thought of you. That's how they felt about you. That's how they did you. You letting that go because you're about to get exonerated. And don't, when God opens up this door for you to walk into this new year and you come out of the prison cell of 2023, don't sit there saying, nope, I want an apology from him. I want an apology for her. I need for life to give me an explanation of why I had to be so hard, why I had to lose my house, why I had to lose my marriage, why I had to go through, why my children. Don't do that. Walk out of it in your newfound freedom in the Lord, in his will for your life. Walk out, walk into it. Okay, granted, everything didn't work out in your favor. Granted, you messed up some of the time, right? Granted, you tried. Granted, you did your best. But all of that becomes irrelevant at the moment of exoneration when you're walking into a new year. Your new year is proof to you. Whenever God allows us to see a new year and even another day, it is proof to you that God still has something else for you. Because after God finishes his work in your life, I promise you, we're all out of here. We're out of here. But the fact that you're still here is proof that God has something else for you. And one of the most dangerous things that can happen to a believer is that we become so familiar with our religion that we stop growing and expecting to receive an experience and have experiences with God. And don't you go into this year like you've been here before. You have never been here before. And you need to go in here and act like you've been somewhere before. I remember my mom used to tell us that when we were kids, get ready to go in the store. Like, don't y'all go in the store acting like y'all ain't never been nowhere. And so I'm saying that because you know how good God's been to you. I'm talking about, and we getting ready to go, but I mean, just think about it. Think about it. Think about how good God's been to you. In previous times, your life ain't been a war zone from the beginning up until now. You've had some good things happen in your life. God has blessed you in ways that many have never experienced or seen before. You've had some encounters with God, some miraculous things to happen, some supernatural things to happen in your life, some things that you know it was nobody but God. You know that. So you've seen the power of God at work in your life. You've seen the Lord answer your prayers. You've had these experiences. So whenever you go here, go into this next year like you know what God can do. I know that he can do the impossible. You know that God could pull a miracle from out of thin air. You know this. He's done it for you before. So remember that he is able, and you walk into the next year with this confidence, in faith, believing God to do what it is that he does as God, and that is anything. And if God can do anything, God can do everything. Did you hear that? I said, if God can do anything, God can do everything. And so this is the disposition and this is the mindset in the spirit that you walk into a new time, a new year. This is how you go into it. It's the law of first mention. The way a thing starts out is the way it's going to continue. And if you walk in this next year of that mindset, I promise you, your experience will be like none other. And you will enjoy the fact that you chose to walk into this next year in a different mindset, in a different spirit than what you have prior years. And I don't want you to ever get so comfortable. Listen to this. I don't want you to ever get so comfortable with things that you may have not experienced until your expectation to experience something more than what you have is diminished. Because it's your expectation that gives instructions to your future. Are you understanding this? Your expectations are what gives instructions to your future. If you don't have an expectation, your future don't know what to do for you. Come on, man. If you don't have an expectation, this is the reason why you need to have an expectation. Your expectation is based upon your confidence in God. Your confidence in God is based upon what he's already proven himself to be, who he's already proven himself to be. You understanding what happens whenever God's hand rests upon your life, when the will of God is manifested in your life, whenever God begin to release you into the things that he has prepared for you and he is destined for you. That's what your faith and confidence is built in. That's what your expectation is based upon. And these become instructions for your future. And so time and life begin to work together to strategically place you on certain paths so that you can be at the right place at the right time to experience what was supposed to happen anyway. It will not be a coincidence. It will all be a very immaculate and calculated plan according to the will of God for you. You just have to be willing to walk in it. Look, I told you we wouldn't be long today. I pray that you guys have received what I've said and shared this morning. I pray that it has encouraged you, and I pray that you would use this power pellet to boost your expectation, your faith in God, and your outlook going into a new year. As you close out this year, make sure that you are remembering the fact that regardless of how great it was or how challenging it was, you made it. And so I commend you on your unending efforts and perseverance throughout this year. And I encourage you to run on into this next year. Let's see what the end of that's going to be. I love you a lot. I pray that you guys have a very Merry Christmas. Enjoy your family. Again, make beautiful memories. They'll be more impacting than any gifts exchanged. It will be the memories that you make together with others tomorrow. I love you all. I will see you all next Sunday morning, 10:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. If you need me before then, you know how to reach out to me. I want to encourage you guys to go and make a donation before you begin or to continue with the rest of your afternoon and evening. Go and make a donation. If you don't know how to make a donation, reach out to me or reach out to whomever sent you this link. They'll be able to tell you how to do so. But until then, I love you all. I bid you blessings and Godspeed.
I am passion, I am present, I'm determined. I am strong, I am brave, I am enough. Know that it won't be easy, still I won't give up. Shifting your ways, be confident within yourself. Practice and trust, visualize all your desires. Focus on the better days. Be willing to let go and receive. Just breathe. Nothing will hold you down. Just repeat after me. Power, I am love, I am light, I am worthy, I am learning, I deserve it. I am faithful, I am able, I am fearless. I am.
Love you guys. Blessings, Godspeed.